Straight up with the auntie. Straight up, straight up. Giving you everything you need. Straight up. Dropping gems and spinning. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome to Straight Up with the Aunties. Welcome to the No Judgment Zone, where you can say what you feel and feel what you say. Just come real. Step inside and be healed. We're dropping gems and keeping it real. We are
The aunties. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jemai, I see you. Hey, Nana, I see you. Y'all on time. Thank y'all for being here. We just wait for a couple more minutes for somebody else to come on here. But anytime you want to ask a question, just put it in a comment and I'll highlight your question, or you know what, you guys can highlight it if we don't see it. Hey, Keisha. Hey, how y'all doing? Straight up with the aunties. This is our podcast. Today's topic is forgiveness and emotional release. So we just gonna wait. Hey, Jemiah, everybody, thanks you for coming in. Could y'all, I don't know if you guys could see it on your end. Could y'all see the comments, Miss Hendricks?
You have to
click. I can't.
Click comments where it says
private. Hey, Keisha.
Okay. You have to go to comments.
Oh, okay. Oh,
hey, Keisha.
Oh, okay. See them now.
Okay.
They speaking. Hey, Yvette.
Hey. Everybody. Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
So we're going to get started. We're going to give like 5 more minutes. I know the game is on. Yes. Don't judge me, Nana. Yes, I do got coffee. What up, Teresa? How the game going? Hey, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda. Hey, Teresa.
How the game going?
Hey, Lakeisha.
The Lions are losing.
Oh.
No, they not. Let me put my hat on.
They're number 14.
Oh. Hey, Mari and Mike, how are you?
It's 6 minutes.
This is Straight Up with the Aunties podcast, where we do what, Yvette?
We're dropping gems and keeping it real.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's the third quarter.
Okay. So you playing.
This is the No Judgment Zone.
Mari and Mike, thank you for being here.
Welcome.
So anytime you got a question, it's the third quarter. Okay. Anytime you got a question, feel free to put it in a comment and we will highlight it. Okay. So hopefully, could you guys hear me good?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today's topic is forgiveness. Thank y'all for being on the line. We appreciate y'all. Today's topic is forgiveness and emotional relief. We're going to start off with introducing who we have on our panel, our guest panel. First, we're going to start off with, I'm Dee Dee. I'm one of the hosts of this podcast.
I'm Miss Yvette, one of the aunties.
Okay, one of the aunties. I should have put host on her, but and so we got our guests here. We have Miss Hendricks. You can introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Lauren Hendricks, LPC. Happy to be here with the aunties.
Tell us about yourself. Why? We need to know a little credentials.
Okay, so I am a licensed professional counselor with I've worked with adults and children. I currently work with students in an educational setting. Work with adults in various settings, including with families involved with the criminal justice system, domestic violence, and then, other mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, etc. I've been a therapist for 6 years. Um, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And next, me.
Hello, I'm me. I'm also favorite child. Um, yeah, I'm trying to be like Miss Hendricks.
Mm-mm. You was
you
funny.
gonna you gonna behave today.
Oh, she on the live. Okay, really. So, what tell us about a little bit about your credentials? I
Oh,
mean,
I currently work as a student support coordinator for a nonprofit organization. I have a lot of people don't know this, but I have a lot of an extensive background in youth development. So one of my passions is to help the kids of this generation develop into the best possible version of themselves. It is a labor of love, but I have met a lot of kids that I enjoy working with and building relationships with. I get beat up sometimes, but you know what? It's worth it.
oh, okay. We thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, okay. So, okay, you guys. Okay, yeah, it's 6:35. No, no, thanks for that. Okay, so we're gonna start off with forgiveness. Um, and anytime you guys have a question in the comment or you want to make a comment with forgiveness. So forgiveness, far as what I read, looked up, forgiveness is a personal feeling and an active process. It doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the harm that that was done to a person or whatever, nor does it necessarily mean making up with the person. Forgiveness requires nothing from the person you're forgiving. Now, again, I say, because a lot of y'all got an issue with that. Forgiveness requires nothing from the person you're forgiving. And they don't even have to know you're forgiving them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know when you have forgiven a person? We're gonna get all into all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna start off with that. You so I'm going a little bit more points. You may have forgiven someone if so it says you feel relief and peace. You may feel a sense of peace or relief about a past wrong. Let go of negative feelings. You make a conscious decision, release anger, resentment, and hostility. Again, if that is not occurring, you have not forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you have to have peace about the situation. So we're gonna say what the Bible says, of course. In the Bible, forgiveness is a central concept. That's what they saying in this, part I've read that promotes reconciliation, compassion, and transformation. Transformative power of God's grace. The Bible emphasizes that forgiveness is a fundamental aspect of Christian faith, and that it is taught by Jesus as a way to forgive. Blah blah blah. Forgive so you can be forgiven. So, Miss Hendry, we're gonna start off with you. If the Yvette, you got anything else to say? Prize forgiveness, just a little bit about the topic.
Not yet. We'll start with that, and then I
Okay,
had
Miss.
some information on things that can happen to you when you don't forgive.
Yeah, we're gonna get off into that. We just gonna
Yeah.
start off with we go now, you guys. We are absolutely not professionals. Well, I'm not a professional. We do have a professional on the stage, so a licensed counselor. But we just giving you what we know to give you from
Mm-hmm.
past from experiences, which is good to do. But we do have a professional, so
Mm-hmm.
let's hear the professional.
Yeah. So just you know, in general, of course, generally speaking, and I think that you um hit something, you said something that, the other person may not even know that you are forgiving them. And that's okay. A lot of times we do think that, well, if we forgive a person, that means that, I'm dismissing my feelings, or that, that means that the other person is right or that they won. And that's absolutely not the case. We want to be in the process, be in the habit of forgiving people, like you said, because one, The Bible instructs us to forgive, but also forgiving is essential and critical in your healing and moving forward, right? And
Mhm.
so, how do you know that you have forgiven someone? You're able to remember that situation, you're able to remember that event without being angry. You can talk about it, and those emotions are not so surface to where you are now acting or speaking out of emotion, right? So it doesn't mean that you have um erased the memory completely, right? Because we go through situations and things for a reason. And so, it doesn't necessarily mean you want to delete that, but you want to be able to recall that event or that situation and not be so angry about it. And
Mhm.
once you've gotten to that place, you get to where you spoke of, Miss Deborah, when where you have that peace, right? And so it's
Mhm.
no longer bothering you in the way that it was before.
Okay, so with that being said, she did that answer your question, Teresa? She said, "How do you know when you've forgiven?" Well, is that what you meant? How do you know? I assume that's what she meant. How do you know you have forgiven?
Yeah, I saw her question pop up, and I hope that kind of answered that.
So did that answer you? We want like participation with you guys. We're up here just to
Mhm.
amazing words. Thank you for that. She said amazing words.
Thank you.
So Yvette, if you want to go add something to that.
Um, it's basically like she said, when you can talk about it.
Hmm.
And because I remember a situation I was in, it took me some years to forgive the person. And when I would, before I forgave them, I would not. When I talked, my voice would like quiver, shake. I mean, it was just, you could tell that it was still a lot of unforgiveness there.
Hmm.
So you have to examine yourself, be honest, be truthful to yourself, because
Girl, she was
it's
talking to
easy.
you.
It's easy to say. It's easy to say, "I forgive you," but you have to examine yourself and see have you really forgiven the person.
Oh, she wants you to repeat that. Girl, she was talking to you. I highlighted your question. Anytime you ask a question, I'm gonna highlight it. You're gonna see it on the screen. That means we're talking to you.
Mhm.
Okay. She would like for you to repeat that information that you just gave out, Miss Hendricks. How do you know when you actually have forgiven somebody?
Mhm.
Um, I think that that you have forgiven someone when you're able to recall the situation, the event, and speak about it without being angry, without the emotion taking over. So you have a sense of peace that has come over you. You can, it's not dismissing your feelings. You're not feeling like, okay, no, well, the other person won, right? Or that, well, if I forgive them, then that means, I'm forgetting about my feelings and putting, their feelings in front of mine or anything like that. None of that comes up, right? Because the forgiveness is not for the other person. The forgiveness is for you.
Mhm.
And so when you can get to that place to where you are at peace about the situation, and again, you can recall it, talk about it, think about it, you know, the memories come up, flashbacks or what have you, and you're like, okay, I'm good with it. It's okay. Then you've reached that level of forgiveness.
And I want to add what be aware that forgiveness is a process. Uh, it's
Absolutely.
it's a process. It may not happen overnight,
Mhm.
and don't beat yourself up about it.
Mhm.
So it's a process.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's a process. So you may not, you be like, oh well, I can't forget. I can't forget, blah, blah, blah. But this it's a process. Everything we do in life is a process. I mean, stuff don't happen
Yes.
overnight. If it happen overnight, okay, great for you. But this particular thing we're talking about is a process.
And
So,
everybody's process is different.
Mhm.
that's very well good to say because somebody might forgive over and over
Mm-hmm.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do me as an example. I practice that, and the
Mhm.
reason why I practice it because of my reverence for God, my reverence to, because God, if you don't forgive, God won't forgive you. That's what we're taught. That's what the Bible says. And so from out my reverence, I think like a lot of times it's just I feel it's like you don't. Not that I'm dismissing my feelings, and I'm just not dismissing everybody else's feelings. And I'm like a person that flying with my wing, flying, da da da. But I practice that because it does a lot for me. And so I hate feeling. I hate feeling that. I hate that feeling of. I don't know how to explain it a lot of times. I just hate that feeling because it goes to my gut. I don't know what y'all. It goes
Don't you
right.
like
It
for me, I
does.
think it feels like a heaviness.
It does.
It does.
And it
It,
go right
it
to the
For me
midsection.
personally, it feels like a physical. I feel a physical pain when somebody wrongs me, and just because I don't want to
Right
feel
here.
that, all in my stomach,
I,
and
Yeah,
through my
if
whole
I
body.
really, if I'm really in my feelings, or I feel a little something in my chest, it get hot.
and that's one thing. It says that you no longer feel tense and anxious after
Absolutely.
forgiveness.
yeah. You ain't rolling your eyes when you see that person, or you feel something when you see that person. You know you ain't
Yes.
forgave nothing. Don't play. Until
Mhm.
I got to thine own self be true. Deal with your own self. And also Miss
I can
Hendricks,
forgive
she
you and
on
still roll my eyes.
her.
Eyes gonna roll. Those eyes gonna roll
Anyway,
every time.
now I won't get to uh is it necessary to maybe the person they just having so much problems forgiving, should they seek out counsel?
Sure. Absolutely. Because if you're actively working to forgive, right? But there is something that is hindering you, something that's blocking you from getting to that place. Absolutely, therapy can help you with that because it's going to help you to figure out what's that blockage. Like, why can't I work through this feeling right now, right? Or why am I not able to move forward? Why am I stuck in this place? And that can be related to any number of things, right? It could
Mm-hmm.
be, related to some other underlying issues or connections, or other things related to that situation that also might need some work for you to be able to talk through. And so, if you find yourself struggling with that, then absolutely, seeking professional help would absolutely be something I would recommend.
And so she don't hey Lola, thanks for being
Hey,
on the line
Lola. That's
again.
that's
I
Lola's
know.
song that we heard at the beginning.
So anytime you got a question, please put it in a. Don't be afraid. Please be in. No questions is dumb questions. Okay. Please put it in a comment. Unless you try to be funny on here. No, just playing. Please put in a comment. We'll highlight it and we'll try to answer the best to our ability. But we do have a professional counselor on board, which can answer a lot of a lot of things we may not be can answer. But forgiveness is essential for our well-being. I know Yvette said she has something. It does other things in your body when you don't forgive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a lot go on with
It can
holding
age.
unforgiveness,
It can age you.
Mm-hmm.
and that person went on about their business, and
High
you
blood
still.
pressure, all kind of stuff can happen to you from unforgiveness. Like she said, it's for you because you can't harbor all that. It's it's not a good thing.
What you mean not a good thing? Explain.
It can cause high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it can weaken your immune system. It can cause heart problems. Unforgiveness can cause a lot of damage, not only to your mental but also to your physical.
Wow. It can be very draining to you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right, Keisha. Thank you for a comment. And when I see it, I'm gonna read it. I love the
Hmm.
participation we're getting from you guys. Everyone is so pretty here. Tiffany, I want that
Thank
vote.
you.
Nothing. Nothing.
They coming up. Yay, ha, they coming up. Well,
Um,
okay, what are the next? Let me highlight your
What are the next steps? After forgiveness, how do you heal after forgiveness if the hurt is still there?
so she just came on the
Miss
line. She's reading.
Hendricks.
Okay. So, what are the next steps after forgiveness? How do you heal after forgiveness if the hurt is still there? And so that's a part of the process, right? Forgiving does not mean that you're not going to feel anything. It doesn't mean that, you still may not feel that pain, that sadness, that disappointment, but it just means that you're able to talk about it. And when the feeling arises, you have some strategies of some way that you're able to work through it. And so, the pain may still be there, right? If someone has wronged you, then that's a part of it. The anger is what's on the surface, and then, we working through all of those layers up underneath to get to where, okay, now I can deal with this situation. And so if the pain is still there, then you keep working through the pain, but allow yourself to feel whatever that is and then work through that. And it's okay, it may not ever go completely away, but it will be easier, right? And then it will be easier for you to manage and get through your day to day without it taking over or consuming.
I
Did
think
that?
um, I think one of the key words you said, Mrs. Hendricks, is to is to talk about it because you cannot heal what you don't reveal. So if you are holding on to
That's
uh,
good.
some hurt, some trauma, and you are refusing to release it, then that is going to keep you from healing. And that's something I had to learn for myself because I was the type of person where I may or may not have suffered in silence, and I would not tell anybody about my issues. I wouldn't even talk to God about it. I was
Mm-hmm.
somebody. I was like, I was gonna get through this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Whole time that just created a layer of bitterness. I was angry. I was overthinking. I was hyper focused on things that happened to me in my past, and that was because I was not talking about it. Now these days, I'll tell a trusted person all of my business because I don't like feeling the way that I used to feel in the past. So if you do not release it, if you don't talk about it, or I don't know, write a song about it,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
then you're not going to properly
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that from your system.
Yeah.
Mm.
It said journaling. It's
Mm-hmm.
good. Painting, writing,
Yeah.
exercising.
Yeah. But you have to move that energy.
And it's good to talk to some. That's like she said, that's I think that's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a
Absolutely.
it's even if you gotta tell a stranger.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a part of the healing is just being able to tell the story freely, openly, from your own perspective, without being judged, without people interrupting, without someone saying, oh, no, that's not how it went down, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so there are different ways that you can do that. It may be where you might need to speak to someone, right? Professional. It might be where you need to, like you said, Tiffany, write a song, write a poem, write a
Mm-hmm.
story. Put it in the perspective of, if you were writing a character or what have you, and change the ending, right? To where that ending didn't, it's not what it was for you. This is the way I wish it would have ended, or the way I wish it would have gone. There are different ways and different paths for you to reach your healing, right?
Mhm.
It's just a matter of you finding that way that works for you. And that just takes that initiative of wanting to take that first step to say, okay, yeah, I need to do something with this because this is problematic for me,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
so let me address this and go ahead and do what I need to do so that I can be well.
Right. That's great, great. Anybody else have any other question? The floor is open because if you are dealing with unforgiveness, first of all, if you on here today, you're it. Let me tell you, you not here by chance. And those that you are watching that are not actually saying anything, you're it. What if I can't forgive? Mari and Mike said, "What if I can't forgive?" So, what if you can't forgive? Who want to answer that?
I say you can forgive. It's
You choosing not to though.
yeah, it's you it's not what if I can't, is what if I choose not to forgive. And it's a choice you have to make.
It's a choice.
I
It's
think
a,
I think that that mindset comes from people who don't understand what
Mhm.
forgiveness is. So they don't understand that
It's for you.
yeah, the unforgiveness is only affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
So the best example of unforgiveness I've heard is unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
mm. Oh, that was good.
That's good.
You're
That's
harboring feelings that
Mhm.
you want to project onto the other person, but that other person has gone about their life. They do
Mhm.
not
Mm-hmm.
care that you're hurting anymore. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care that they did whatever they did to you. They don't care that they wronged you. You are the only person who cares. So care enough about yourself to release that person from your system.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Did you understand that, Mari and Mike? That was a great response, and it's always up to you. It's your choice.
And it's for you. Remember that.
It is for you.
And that's
Yes.
not to say that forgiveness is easy
It's
for
yeah,
everyone.
it's not.
It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely like especially
It's not.
when
I'm saying something.
like considering the situation, it's easier said than done for most people.
True,
Mhm.
true, true. It's
But
like Miss Hendricks said, it's up to the person. We all
Mm-hmm.
different. We all um we're different. So he's whoever that is, Mari and Mike said good words. Thank you for your question. And anybody else have any questions on forgiveness? Are we waiting on one other person to come in here? Anyway. Boy, he supposed to be at 7. Somebody rung the bell. But thank you so much. So we're gonna keep it moving on this forgiveness. We could go on and on, but we got to forgive. And if you are having a situation where you feel you need to seek out a counselor, seek out somebody to talk to, like many have said on here, seek out someone to actually somebody you trust. Nobody ain't no. When we talk about somebody that gonna go back and tell all your business, somebody you trust and you feel comfortable with, and yeah, and then so I want to just say I had something down here, but y'all all said it. Um, well, I'm gonna go to a scripture. Colossians 3:13. It says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you." And it sounds cliche, but that's we have to forgive. It is the biblical law. No. Also, forgive yourself. We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about
Mhm.
forgiving you. You got to forgive you. So if
Mhm.
anybody want to explain that, because you're not gonna talk all day. So forgiving you, one of you guys. How do you forgive yourself? And how do you know you haven't forgiven yourself?
If you're still feeling guilty or ashamed or embarrassed um, then you probably have not forgiven yourself. Forgiving yourself, you know, means that, okay, it allowing yourself to be like, okay, I made a mistake. I made a bad choice, or it wasn't my fault, right? It wasn't
Mhm.
anything that I did. And
Mhm.
making sure that, making sure that you are allowing yourself that space to be able to do that. I'm sorry, I'm reading a question from Mario.
Oh, because yeah, he.
Hey y'all, I see look except Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh yeah.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I do not. At the moment, I am only cash only, with private practice. However, give me a minute, and I will probably be back with accepting Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I'll keep you guys updated.
Okay.
It will that may probably change in the next maybe month or so.
Oh, okay.
So could you recommend?
Therapist. Where are you located, Mari and Mike?
So they can always shoot. You could recommend like some online, some that you know, Miss Hendricks.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
Okay, she gonna put it in the comments, right? You know how to type. You could you type in the comments?
I should be able to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that you forgive yourself. That's number one.
Absolutely.
Well,
Okay. So
I
you in
have
Michigan. You in Michigan. Okay.
oh, okay. Yeah, on my, oops. I'm in one also.
They on Michigan. They in Michigan.
Uh,
All right.
um, Miss Hendricks, will you be accepting other insurance also?
Yes,
Yes.
she said that.
Yes, I
Blue
will.
Cross, Blue
Yep.
Shield, and other insurances.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I'll be accepting some other insurances too. Um, like I said, I'll have an update for that. Give me a few weeks.
Okay.
And I should be able to provide some information with that.
Could you explain because of your actions towards that person, or could you let us know what you're referring to? And Nakisha says, I definitely haven't forgiven myself. I'm trying though. That's
You
what
just have
matters.
you have to have grace with yourself. Self forgiveness is something that I struggled with, past tense, struggled with. And it was because me personally, I held myself to this impossible standard. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm human. I can't be human. I can't be like everybody else. I can't make the mistakes that everybody else makes. Anywho, so long story short, I made a mistake. And I had a hard time forgiving myself. And one of the things that kept playing, to say, like, I don't know the correct word, that kept playing in my spirit is, how are you not forgiving yourself when the God you claim to believe in has already forgiven you?
Mm.
Mhm.
So I was holding on to something that God threw into the sea of forgetfulness, right? And that's almost like saying I'm above God because I'm refusing to forgive myself for being human. So you just have to have some grace with yourself. You have to understand the mindset you're in when you made whatever choice or decision or mistake you made. And just like healing, I mean, forgiving someone else is going to be a process.
So she says, because not everything was my fault, but I feel like
Mhm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot with people, right? We take on all of the burden of everybody's actions in whatever situation that we feel bad about, right? And so be able to dissect that thing and say, okay, no, this is my piece and I'm on my mess. But on the rest of that, yeah, no, that's not mine. And whoever you need to throw that over to, throw that over there to them and let them deal with it or not. But that's not going to be your concern, right? And so be accountable for your role, whatever that may be. But just like, we just said, giving yourself the space and the grace to be able to say, okay, no, I might have did that, but that wasn't the end. It's okay, right? God has forgiven me. Okay. And now this is what I need to do to be able to move forward. Being able to acknowledge that, okay, I am a human and that I do make mistakes and that even though my intentions may have been good or maybe, whatever your situation is, just be able to say, okay, my bad. And now I'm going to do better, right? With whatever that may look like for you.
Right. For you, not the other person.
For you.
Not caring what somebody else think about it. For you.
And if it's truly something that you feel like you can't forgive yourself for or let go, that's where seeking counseling or seeking therapy comes into play. Like maybe you need to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
She said, is it okay to be lost with yourself?
That is completely normal, especially at
Yes.
your age.
Oh, I love it. You see there, girl? You normal anyway. See? You always was normal. It's okay.
Especially at your age. It's so no. When I went to college, I changed this is just like a simple example, but I changed my major like 4 times and I still didn't end up in the field that I got my degree in. So that's just to say that it's completely okay to not be completely sure of who you are, but you are, I don't know how old you are exactly. What, 16? This is the perfect time for you to begin to understand who you are, why you were placed on this earth, what you like, what you don't like. It's completely normal to feel like you don't fit in, like you're different from everybody else, like you don't belong. That's completely okay. I promise you. I felt that way for my entire life. I still feel that way. But at this point, I'm completely okay with it. I understand that I'm not meant to fit in with everybody else. You old, I'm not, dang. But it's still normal. It's okay. You're in your adolescence, so you're supposed to be finding yourself. You're supposed to be feeling the way that you feel. But if it gets to a point where it feels like it's a little bit too heavy to carry, then that's when you start talking to somebody. You start, pouring love into yourself.
Great. So how did she pour love into herself? Question.
Mrs. Hendricks is the perfect person to answer that.
Now, when you say pour love into herself, do she do things for herself that makes herself feel?
You can start with affirming yourself. That's with looking in the mirror, speaking on affirmations, denouncing whatever somebody else said to you that made you believe that you are something that you're not. That means finding what you love, if that's in fashion, if that's in art, whatever it is. Do things that you love. Spend time with yourself. Get to know yourself. Write something in a journal. And then go back and read it 2-3 days later. You'll be like, oh, I didn't know I was like that. You discover something new about yourself. Be intentional about dating yourself.
So that's self-love. Lola Adora said self-love. Absolutely. You can't
and give yourself permission to make mistakes.
Because you human.
Because you're human.
Yeah, the line's coming back. Oh, thank you for keeping us up with the okay. So she said, okay. So she said, give yourself, would you say give your, when I interrupt these lions? What is she?
I was saying, give yourself permission to make mistakes.
And learn from them.
and learn from them.
Girl, and be you. Be who you be. And be
And
who
be
you be.
realistic.
And
Be realistic.
that's
Do
a
not think that what you see on TV or what you see on social media when everybody is posting and living their best life and showing all of those things, and I'm talking about, just even whether it's the, celebrities or, the people down the street.
right.
Remember, it's not a lot of folks that's going to post all the bad stuff, the hard stuff, the ugly stuff, right? We don't want people to see that. We keep all of that stuff private. So
Right.
remember that you are not in competition with anyone but yourself.
Mhm.
And that just means that you want to be better today than you were yesterday. So do not let other people pressure you, right? Or make you feel like you have to keep up with anybody with what they doing on their line and then on their race, because yours is yours alone.
Correct. Did you understand that?
No, no, we all make mistakes. I promise.
Oh, mistakes. I be so embarrassed when I make mistakes.
And it's
Girl.
okay.
All right.
It is okay. That's how you learn and grow.
Things that make her feel good. Things that uplift her. What you mean? Like for her self-love, Teresa?
Things that make her feel good.
Yeah. Absolutely. The number one thing, you number one. Y'all know that, right? It's not selfish to put you number one.
That's
You're
right.
number one. You gotta take care of you first. You can't
Mhm.
take care of everybody else and you all jacked up.
That's right.
You gotta take care of you. You are number one, and it's
Mhm,
okay. I just think
mhm.
it was so selfish. And I ain't talking about just you now. Now I'm talking about everybody on here. We are number one. We gotta take care of ourselves first. We gotta go. We need to seek our help too. Y'all think girl, bad.
That's right.
Girl, we not like she said. Don't project. Don't look at like everybody got it going on.
Yeah.
I be on my live every morning. Everyone else
Mhm.
smiling, and the most part I'm okay. But I have days when I don't be okay,
And no one's perfect. Nobody.
and I don't care. I deal with it, and I deal with me.
Mhm.
I got days when I don't want to be bothered with
That's
people.
right.
That makes it wrong? No, it does not.
Mhm.
It does not. Who is that? Nana put on some lashes, girl, and I say look good, uplifting. You are beautiful, very beautiful, and
Mhm.
all of you guys are beautiful on here. You just got to know that,
That's right.
and stop comparing yourself to other people. So okay, so we do anybody else have any questions before we go on with the good thing? I know all this. These two play hand in hand, emotional release. I was like, oh my god. Okay.
Mhm.
So, do anyone else have any other questions? If you do, just put it down in the comment box. We're gonna go on to what is an emotional release. So, what I have it is a process that helps people release unresolved negative emotions
Hmm.
and limiting belief system that may have been there for a long time or shown up recently. You thought it was gone, but a situation
Mm, mm,
happened.
mm,
A situation
mm.
happened, and
A
all of a
situation.
sudden, a situation happened, and all of a sudden, them emotions
Mhm.
came from out of nowhere. You like, I thought I dealt with that. I thought that was gone. No, you
Oh,
didn't.
Mhm.
Happened to me
oh,
last night.
oh,
You know what I'm saying?
oh.
It says
They
you
sure
may
will pop up.
it says you may be able to release trapped emotions by acknowledging them and connecting with them.
Mhm.
Other practices that help you work through trauma may help. My God, I know this was a trauma part. This is all part of our mental health
Mhm.
aspect. This is still mental health. If y'all didn't see, yeah, triggered it. If y'all didn't see our other videos on mental health, go back and watch because this all is about mentally. They have said Black folks don't want to go to counseling and Black folks don't want to deal with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Black folks on this panel right here deal with stuff. So yeah, emotions. Let's talk about that. This is my favorite. This is one of
Mhm.
my favorite. Because recently I had an emotional on live. Okay. I was was not trying. Whoa! And once you release those emotions, you feel so light, so free. Because you've been holding on stuff for too long. Like, and you just also you feel free. So I'll read this part. You probably heard the term emotional baggage. It's sometimes used to describe the phenomenon, the reservative of carrying past trauma or so-called negative experiences throughout life, relationship, careers. It said you may see this reflected in someone's posture, as if they're carrying around an unbearable weight. It may even prevent them from moving forward in life. How many of y'all experienced that? Sharice have a question. Girl, what question she got? She on the podcast.
Why wasn't I on this episode?
She is on here. She just tapped in late. So we gonna go on about the emotional release, right? So Miss Hendricks, since she the professional on here.
Excuse you, I'm a pre-professional.
Well, that's right. You an expert. I know.
Tiffany, you're a born professional.
If you would just come on and quit playing.
Okay, come on. Okay, okay. So it says everyone carries unprocessed emotions from experiences to some degree. However, emotions that aren't dealt with don't just go away. They can affect the way you think about yourself, how you react to stress, your physical well-being, your relationship with others. So let's go into that because this is one of my favorite. Yeah. This is my favorite. It's my favorite because people walk around acting like they got it all together and they don't got it all together. People walk around holding things against each other, people, your dog, your cat, whoever made you whatever. You know, people walk around with that and they don't deal with that. So honesty, first of all, to me, is the first step to being honest that you are dealing with something and it's not okay. You're not okay. Right?
Yeah.
But I ain't a professor, but Miss Hendricks, let's go.
Absolutely. You have to first be able to acknowledge that something is wrong. Right. So that means that you are, you done checked in with yourself. Okay, yeah, I, got an attitude about this for a little too long. Or, I'm noticing every time somebody brings up this situation, I'm getting mad all over again. Or anytime this person comes around, I'm mad. Or, whatever. Whatever it is that you're hanging on to and that you are have not dealt with, you have to first acknowledge that it's a problem. And that means that, okay, it can't be where you like, yeah, I know that, I'm mad about that situation, but I'm okay with being mad about that because, I feel like I deserve it or, I'm justified in it or what have you. All of that may be true. But if you are carrying around all of these negative emotions, this bitterness, this anger, right? If you are carrying all of these things around, it's absolutely going to start filtering out in other ways. It's going to mess you up internally and externally. And so it's necessary for you to be able to say, yeah, let me see what's going on with this and then start that path to, working through those feelings.
So I want to, it's a lot of comments on here. So I want to say when I deal with this whole topic, I like to say because it's not about the other person. Because we all on here are holding and have emotional distress. So at some point in our lives, we got to deal with it because it's going to affect us physically, mentally, emotionally. And it causes the body, like Yvette said, to break down.
Absolutely.
And you wonder why you have certain things going on in your body because you have not released a lot of things. And you can tell. I love this part because the reason why I love it because I always deal with me. Me. I ain't looking at you. You or you. I'm looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's so important that you like Lola, self love. That's a part of your self love. That's part of your mental well healing. So deal with you first before you try to deal with somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
because all of us on here have had some type, especially us as women, honey, women,
Mm-hmm.
y'all better come on somebody.
Yep.
Y'all know, y'all know us women, we deal in them emotions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it can cause us to feel stressed, depressed, or anxious. Those feelings continue to fester and grow even when they aren't expressed. I'm talking about dealing with your own self. I'm talking about dealing with you. Number one, I'm not looking at you. I'm not pointing the finger at you. She said, yo, okay, y'all would heard about. So in some cases, we may even feel deeply angry or rageful and develop feelings of resentment towards others. Wow. How many of us have seen that? Honey, the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very transparent. I got no, y'all can't do nothing to me because when I talk to people, I talk straight up with them. And I come
Mm-hmm.
straight from my heart. Hey, if I'm dealing with something, and if I'm not dealing with something, you gonna know I'm gonna be real about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the one I learned this, and it's a process. I've been through a process in doing so, and have I sought out counsel? Yes, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't care. I ain't ashamed of it. So I tried to deal with it by myself. It ain't work. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to talk somebody I trust. You know, somebody I trust. Somebody I trust. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
say that part. So,
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, let's go on to
That's
next. So
it.
I'm
We
reading.
got a
I have
lot
a
of
problem with it.
Please
we
keep it
got a
moving.
lot of questions on. Well, they
Well,
were saying a couple of people said they keep it to themselves
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard to trust people. That's a good time to get a therapist.
Absolutely.
Like Miss Hendricks, she said she's gonna be accepting insurances probably within a month.
And let me tell you, I talked to her about everything.
That's a good time to get a therapist because a therapist is you can talk to a therapist and you ain't got to worry about your business out.
like taking right. I see y'all a lot of that's true and trying to hide it. And
Mm-hmm.
Brenda, I had an emotional breakdown and cut my hair. Keisha said, look, Keisha Jones said, Teresa said they don't want to go seek therapy because they're concerned with what somebody else think. That's part of getting released from
Mm-hmm.
people. What worry about what somebody think ain't gonna help you. Absolutely, gonna do nothing but keep you there. Nikisha said, like taking your anger out on someone. Oh, y'all got some good stuff going on here. Thank y'all for conversating. We love it. As Sharice Estelle says, y'all okay, y'all wouldn't hurt. She mean that God to put God in it. Just
Yeah,
don't go to
yeah,
therapy.
yeah, we know. That's why he's called the great counselor.
And I have a problem with keeping my she's Lola. I have a problem with keeping my problems to myself. It's hard to trust people. Uh absolutely. But you gotta trust you, okay? Because you want to need the counseling. It's not gonna go away, y'all. I'm telling y'all. It's gonna
Yeah.
fester. You're gonna be an old person still mad at your mama and
Yes.
still mad at your dad.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you're gonna be
Wondering why you
old.
can't move forward, wondering why you having all these other problems in relationships and things because you know these issues are filtering over into other areas of your life. And I know, I get it. We get to where, oh yeah, I'm not about to go in here and be telling everybody my business. Y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to be loosed from that. let it
That's
let it go, y'all. If you go and see a therapist, your therapist is not talking about
Mhm.
whatever is going on with you with anybody. I promise you, they're not. And furthermore, you need to be able to go to a space to where if there is nobody in your personal life that you can talk to at least some of the time,
Mhm.
right? And I'm going to say, if you feel like it's going to be ongoing or an extended period of time, I'm going to say, be careful with that, because even with that, like, we overload our friends and our families,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you go seek some professional help,
Mm-hmm.
you could go once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, if that's what you need. It just might be a check-in or whatnot. I really want you guys to consider that, because being able to talk about it in a space where you are not going to be judged, you can say it the way you need to say it. If you got the ugly cry to come with it, like, however you need to get it out.
The
Mhm.
ugly
Like, we
cry.
gon' we gonna take all of that, and then when you leave, I promise you, you gonna feel better. Now, in addition to that, if you do not address it, it's not gonna go away. And I know we all done said that at some point. It doesn't go away,
Mhm.
right? It will continue to get worse. And then it's gonna sneak up on you, and you're gonna be like, wait, where did that come from? Right? And it's some stuff that you hadn't dealt with, or that you thought you dealt with, but maybe you didn't do it all the way. And that's okay. That's not to attack or pick on anybody.
That's
No.
Listen,
right.
we all have things we have to work on.
That's right.
Right. And so, but first, I want, make sure that you are able to say, okay, yeah, it's something going on, and I need, this a little
Mhm.
more than me just being able to shake this off, because this keeps coming up.
Mhm.
She said, Brenda said, Keisha, Lakeisha, Sharice Excel, sometimes you need supernatural help when natural counsel isn't helping hand in hand. Lakeisha Jones says, I have learned to talk to God about it. And Brenda Bugler says, the one that I talked to help me in a lot of ways that I was concerned about with myself, she helped me to deal with a lot of things that I couldn't deal with on my own. Great. And I also have God in my conversation. He's never left out because I can't do it without him. True. He's my strength. He absolutely your strength. But God used people. That's why you got pastors. He used people because a lot of times, sometimes tangible things help. You know, tangible. You need somebody to talk to, and God will send that very person for you to talk to, and he'll be using. Yeah, it's him, but he'll be using that person. So counseling is not bad.
Mhm.
You should go to counseling. Everybody should have a counselor. Everybody has somebody, an outlet to talk to. Everybody
You
should.
should have a counselor.
And
Mhm.
even if you got scriptures, you should have a counselor.
Exactly. That's
Mhm.
why
It
he
does
put
not.
them there.
No, that's why. Oh, yeah, you got godly counselors. Hey, hey, Paula, how are
Yeah,
you?
Pauletta.
One question: is it okay not to believe in God? I mean, that's your choice.
Mhm.
That's you. But we over here, we believe in it. But that is your choice. Okay, we ain't judging you. There's no judgment zone over here. But absolutely, we do believe in God over here. I believe He is the ultimate supreme
That's for
God.
me in my house.
Mhm.
Anyway, I
But
want to
but
tell
I got you. I heard, I hear you now, but I not Nakisha, but I know you do believe in
there's,
it.
there's this is about how
Okay, but I heard,
go
yes, I
ahead.
said that. Go ahead.
You just interrupted me like I'm not
I, oh
talking.
no, my apologies. I was reading about when Nakisha was saying she didn't say she didn't believe it. She just was saying
Rude.
it. I
I
wasn't trying.
mean, it's a nah. That's some people's personal preference. As
Somebody's knocking on the door.
believers, it's just our responsibility to love on those people and to continue to minister to them, because at one point in time, everybody is going to see the coming of Christ. Anywho, so yeah, I was about to tell you about this time that a refusal to release emotions almost caused damage in one of my friendships. I look back at it now, I don't care. No, I'm joking. But so there was this one point in time where um the devil got a hold of my tongue and killed me. So I would, this is a trauma response. I would cuss people out when they hurt me. feelings.
What?
No, listen, because I have a big heart, and there are some people who take advantage of that. And I felt like, oh, if I do this, if I do the total opposite of who I am, then that person is going to see that, and they're not going to want to talk to me no more. So it will work, but I'll feel bad. Anywho, so, like I said, those people were removed from my life. Then I met a new friend, and every time this person would do
Hey,
something
Native Queen.
that
Hey,
would
Queen.
make me mad, I didn't cuss them out with like actual curse words, but I would do what I used to do to the people who were actually detrimental to my life. So I had to I had to sit down and examine myself and understand where I was being triggered at to want to cuss this person. Like I said, I didn't cuss this person out. I almost did it. To want to cuss this person out, and it was because I hadn't released the emotions that I was holding on to from past situations, and I was projecting my triggers onto this person. So it's not funny. So I have since released that spirit. And I have a great friendship with said person. Sometimes. Not today.
Mhm.
So you guys, the good point, Tiffany. Good point, me. So you guys is in a comment. We're those who just joined us. We're talking about first we did forgiveness, and now we're on releasing emotional release. So if you have a question, a comment before we end, because we've been on here, it's an hour and we want to stay within that time because we all got lives. So especially our professional Miss Hendricks, she got live. No, that's um. So if you have a last minute question, could you guys just let us know?
Oh, so I
Can
don't.
I
You
can
said
I ask Miss Hendricks? What's a good way to have emotional release? And could you give me an example of emotional um harboring holding on to emotional? It's a trauma, emotional trauma.
Yeah, I mean, holding on to your emotions and internalizing things could absolutely be a trauma response. It could be, where that is learned behavior, where you've been in a relationship or an environment where you were not allowed to have a voice, right? Where you were told to be quiet, you don't matter, you don't get to voice your opinion or anything like that. It could be where you were in a space to where you watched other people express themselves and they had some type of negative response, right? And
Mhm.
so as a result, you were like, okay, nope, I don't want that. So I'm not going to say anything. So it could be any variety of reasons that brought it on, but a lot of times, yes, it is a trauma response. And so how do you get out of that? To break out of that, you start the process of healing, right? You start the process of using your voice, expressing yourself, and being able to assert what's going on with you, how you feeling, and what you need or requiring. And so that looks different for people. It could be where some people do need to seek that professional help and have some talk therapy where they're going to see a counselor. Some people might be able to get it done, independently through prayer, through journaling, right? Some people might just need to kind of move that energy and do something, whether it's like some physical movements. It might be, yoga. It might be, you know, um, art. It can be any number of things, but essentially it's being able to have the space to be able to express the emotion. So, people need to do that differently. Some people need to, physically, I might need to let all mine out on a punching bag or with kickboxing, because that's giving me some physical movement, but also releasing those hormones or that help me release that anger. So it looks different
Mm-hmm.
for everybody, but start that process of elimination, if you will. Do something. If you don't do anything, nothing is going to change, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if you do something, whether it is, okay, I'm gonna try journaling. It might be I might just write 3 or 4 words on the sticky note. I don't have to write an essay or a thesis. That it's not necessary. It might be a few words and a couple of doodles, but that's what I got for today. So do that. Seek professional help if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times employers offer free counseling services. So check with your insurance or whatnot. And then you can always call 988. It's a suicide national hotline. Somebody will answer that line and listen to you. If you feeling like you need to talk to somebody or feeling like you might be a threat to yourself.
Yeah. So the takeaways that I is actually absolutely what how she said it, or in a different, the tendency to conceal our emotions is often a deeply ingrained habit we've developed over time. It requires real diligence to break the cycle and to begin expressing ourselves to others, though doing so might feel uncomfortable, dangerous, or difficult. The reward is worth the effort. Now, if you are struggling to process and deal with your emotions, don't be afraid to reach out to a mental health professional. They can help you better understand your feelings, practice healthy ways of talking about your emotions, and teach effective emotional coping skills. So we just thank everybody for being with all you guys' opinion. Do you believe in resolving issues with people or just moving on and forgiving them? Do you believe in resolving issues with people or just moving on or forgiving them?
Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation.
Hmm. So did you hear
Mhm.
Lola, in the beginning we were talking about forgiving. When I turned 40, I released a lot. I had to remove myself from everything that was holding me
Yeah,
back.
sometimes you got
Wait,
queen. That's right. Sometimes you got to remove some people out your life.
Absolutely.
she said everything. She said people. You gonna put her.
Oh, I
That means
mean,
a lot of other stuff too. It's just people. It's just people.
yeah, that's true.
It
It's
might
not
be your
just people.
it
Everything.
might be
Some
yourself
things.
too. It might be yourself too.
Yeah.
See that the bottom line we want
Mhm.
to point fingers. We number one is dealing with ourselves. And she said she dealt with herself. She dealt with herself first.
Yeah.
First, you gotta deal with
Mhm.
yourself. But I was
Yeah.
want to go back to this last question. Do you believe in resolving issues with people or just moving on and forgiving them?
There's also like in addition to forgiveness does not mean reconciliation, it also depends on your relationship with that person, whether or not you will choose to forgive them and allow them to be in your life again.
Mhm.
There's just because you forgave them and you may have changed your behavior, that doesn't mean that person is going to change their behavior. They could be the exact same person and you could be putting yourself in the exact same situation where you had to learn how to forgive that person.
Mhm.
So that did you believe in resolving issues with people or just moving on and forgiving them? So did that answer your question, Lola? Do do you want each one of us to answer that or Miss Hendricks? No,
Just like Tiffany said, it
Yeah.
depends on your
It
relationship
depends.
with
Mhm.
that person. Now, if it's your mother or something, you probably want to still have a relationship with that person. But if it's a ex boyfriend or something, you probably want to move on. It depends.
It depends.
it depends on the person. That's what Miss that's what
Hmm.
we. It depends on who you dealing with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all could have came on earlier, some of y'all, but we just love the feedback we getting. It would help us, not only us, but it would help somebody else that's listening. That's our
Hmm.
goal. to uplift, encourage people. It's because a lot of time people don't know which way to go. Now we always say the 911, but it's another. It's another. What is that? If you got it, it's an emergency. If you need help right away, what is that? Is it 411? It ain't 411.
The mental health hotline?
The
Or
mental health hotline.
988.
this
988. So
Mm-hmm.
988. If you need help, people. 988. They there like 24/7, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 988. Like I said, Miss Hendricks, she's a professional licensed counselor. So we are people that have opinions, and we just let you guys know what we've been through and giving our advice. We're not professionals. We're not telling you to do something that you don't want to do. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Miss Hendrick,
she's licensed
is it some way that
through the state.
someone seeking counsel can reach you, like when they get their insurance or in a month or so, or
Yes. You can email me. I do, like I said, I do cash pay right now. So
mm-hmm.
if you want to reach out to me, you can email me at what's my email? Lauren.hendrickslpc at gmail.com.
Okay. And also, I didn't say forgiveness is an important part of emotional healing too. Hold on to bitterness.
first step.
That's all the part. Forgiveness
Yes.
is the first part of it.
If you have not forgiven, everything else you do after that, it really doesn't matter because you still hold on to that.
Y'all is so I love y'all. Thank y'all for being on the line, y'all people. I hope you guys were encouraged or you got some of your questions answered. We will be doing more on the mental health.
Let them go, Lola.
What she said?
Let them go.
She said I tried to resolve the issue, but the person was in it. Not him.
Let them
Girl,
go.
let them. Girl, you like we said in the beginning.
It ain't worth it. I promise.
Forgiveness ain't for the person anyway. That stuff is for you. So you can keep on going about your life. Lola, that way you move on, go forward, and deal with you. Number one is you.
It may come. And there may come a point in time where you guys reconnect and have a better relationship, whatever relationship it was. But for right now, I would say it's best for you to release that person. With all
I mean, and it may be hard for you to do, but it's a process. It's a process. You don't beat yourself up. It's a process.
It's a process.
If you still around that toxic person or environment, forgiveness is not going to work. That don't got nothing to do with it.
Oh, Nikki.
Hey, Michelle. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you. Yeah. But like Miss Hendricks said, it depends on the person. Everybody's different. Take your time, people. Don't beat yourself up. Don't care what. Number one is you. Get you together. Number one. Number one is you.
That's right.
I'm going to keep saying that. Number one is you. Does not matter. Chatter. Number one was you. Love y'all, though. We thank y'all for being on the live. This was our first live. We did it. It's one in the history books. Hello. So we're going to keep it moving. This right here is Lola Falana, her first single.
Lola Adore.
Girl, I said, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We going to sign off now. All right. To the next time.